NFL free agency is less than a month away, and Fox Sports predicted what each team is going to do in free agency. Who they're going to add, who's going to leave. That's what we're going to talk about on today's episode. You're watching Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Bartkus. Wherever you're watching, when you're watching, hope you're having a great day. And our guy, Greg Auman, is actually who wrote the Fox Sports article. He writes for Fox Sports, but also covers the Bucs. You've seen his tweets. You've seen his articles everywhere. So shout out to my guy, Greg, for talking about what each team is going to do in NFL free agency. He's got a lot of stuff, and it's really, really good. But we're going to be mostly talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fox Sports released their top 100 free agents list and made predictions on where they're going to sign. And we're going to react to the Bucs and where their predicted signings are, who's going to leave, who we're going to add maybe, and just go through what Greg Auman had to say. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that sub button, but also make sure to hit the like button because our most liked video that we've had on the channel so far is 179 likes. Can we beat it on today's show? I really appreciate everyone for watching, but I also appreciate the people who interact with the video, who comment, like, subscribe, because it tells Bucs fans and YouTube that, hey, this is a pretty good Bucs video, and it'll get more people in here, get more of a community, and more of a place to talk about Bucs sports, because that's what we're talking about, Bucs sports. Talk about Bucs football. Now, we can talk about the Lightning, but no, I'm just kidding. But I want to get as many people in here as possible to really just create a community for the Bucs fans to come and watch some fun videos. So make sure to hit the like button. Can we beat 179 likes? Let's shoot for 200. How about that? All right. Going into the first prediction from Fox Sports, and it's actually a guy that I've talked about before, and it's signed Tyler Allgeier, the backup running back for the Atlanta Falcons last year. He's been with the Atlanta Falcons his entire career. He has been the 2-punch to the 1-2 punch of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier for the Atlanta Falcons, and has some ties, obviously, with our current OC, Zach Robinson. I would love this. You pair him up again with Zach Robinson, and I think I've said this in previous videos, but relationships really matter, and when you get a guy like Tyler Allgeier who has had a very solid career, I think that's really important when you're starting on a new team for both of them. If this comes true, Zach Robinson and Tyler Allgeier, they know each other. He knows the offense, and he would really help create more of a comfort for, honestly, Zach Robinson and the offense in general for a guy like Baker Mayfield, who has Bucky Irving, but is also losing Rachaad White and possibly Sean Tucker. We know Rachaad White is leaving. We'll get to him later on in this video, but Bucky Irving's your number one, right? But we don't have a number two. And Zach Robinson has been so used to using Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier. And I do not want to say that Bucky Irving is Bijan Robinson because that would just be a slight. But we know Bucky Irving is a good running back, and I think Zach Robinson can unlock him. But how awesome would it be if Bucky Irving had a guy like Tyler Allgeier to help him in terms of the run game? And I think Bucky Irving is a great receiving and running back. Tyler Allgeier is not a receiving back. He is a bowling ball. Like, he is, if you're talking about lightning and thunder in Atlanta, it was Bijan Robinson lightning and then Tyler Allgeier the thunder. And he seems like a bowling ball. So I think he would be a great option. And he backed up a top 3 running back in the NFL in Bijan Robinson and still had great production. You saw the stats. He's got a ton of carries. And if you're like, well, we already have Bucky Irving, maybe he doesn't want to come here to be a backup and, moving laterally being a backup running back. Guys, he's going to be a backup running back, and I think he's okay with that. But if you pair him with a guy like Bucky Irving where it's just going to be a two-headed monster, I'd love that. I would love that. Now, moving on to the next prediction, sign Nakobe Dean. So I saw this in the article, and I think I've seen a couple people mention in the comments Nakobe Dean, and if he can stay healthy, I'm in. I like this. I'm so in on this, actually. The Eagles linebacker is a fantastic, smart linebacker. He is your green dot guy. And if he can stay healthy and be on the field to produce, I think this is a great signing. We need a guy like Nakobe Dean. Actually, honestly, we just need a guy in the backfield right now. Lavonte David, if he decides to retire, we have monster holes. Servassier Dennis. We have a lot of holes in our depth chart, but Nakobe Dean, guy out of Georgia. We know Georgia linebackers are good. Looking at a guy like C.J. Allen in the draft right now from Georgia, Nakobe Dean would fit perfectly on this because Hassan Reddick leaving. Yaya Diaby, he's more of an edge. Lavonte David leaving. This is your middle linebacker. So if Lavonte David is calling it quits and retiring, because it still is an option for Lavonte David. Now, he was talking, I saw an interview, he was talking to Kay Adams, and she was like trying to get it out of him, like, so you coming back because, you tied Derek Brooks' tackle record? Are you going to come back for another season to break it? And he's like, ha, 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 and then didn't really give an answer. And fair enough. I mean, Lavonte David, he's been an absolute monster, but I think, unfortunately, the best days are behind him. And if you keep him on the roster, he's going to have to start. Like, if you keep him as a backup, we can't do that. You have to start him. And I think his production has gone down a little bit. He had a great season, but not the type of season we know Lavonte David to have. So what Nakobe Dean would bring is your Lavonte David replacement in terms of you can't replace Lavonte David because he's just an absolute Hall of Famer, one of the best linebackers in Bucs history. But if he's durable enough, Nakobe Dean could be your green dot linebacker to replace Lavonte David if he does decide to retire. If he doesn't, I don't know if you bring Nakobe Dean in because you want Nakobe Dean to be your quarterback of your defense. And if Lavonte David is still there, he's going to be the quarterback because he's still smart as hell in the backfield. But I just don't think that production is there anymore. So if you sign Nakobe Dean, hey, if he stays healthy, that's literally the only asterisk on this is if he stays healthy because the guy is a hell of an athlete, but as long as he's on the field, he's good. But when he's off, it kind of sucks. And when you've had that history of injuries, one, it's making sure you stay out there, and two, the longevity of how long you can play in the league. Moving on to the next one, Cade Otton to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, Cade Otton, obviously a free agent this year. I've been going back and forth if I want to bring Cade Otton back because he's not a terrible tight end. Let's get that out of the way. He's not a terrible tight end. It's just maybe he's not exactly what you're looking for in terms of this offense and maybe a new offensive coordinator coming in. So, look at his stats in 2024 with Liam Cohen, who is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had his best career with Liam Cohen in 2024. 59 receptions on 89 or 80. Read the stats, Reed. Come on. What are we doing? 59 for 87, and then 600 yards, averaging about 10, 4 touchdowns, and 8 drops. Like I said, the best year was with Liam Cohen. So I get the Cohen ties. I just don't understand why the Jags would sign him. I was talking to our Jags host, Colin Brown, and he was like, oh, yeah, like Cade Otton. Okay, cool. But they already have a Cade Otton. It's Bretton Strange. Like, they almost play the exact same way. Big tight end, can block in the run game, but is also a good red zone threat and is a good, short yardage. And because we're not sending Cade Otton on a streak up the middle of the field like a Kyle Pitts or an Evan Ingram. But like I said, he's not a terrible tight end, but they already have Bretton Strange, who is Cade Otton just on the Jags. So I don't really understand that one from Greg. But, all respect to Greg. But I just think maybe if they trade him or let someone go in that tight end. But I don't know if Cade Otton, if he has his choice of places to go, I don't think he's going to go to a place where he might be a backup or just a 2 tight end set. I think he wants to be the main guy. But you guys let me know. Should we re-sign Cade Otton? Like I said before, I've gone back and forth of I don't think he's terrible, but I think if you want to move on from him and go for a guy that, like Kyle Pitts, who maybe Zach Robinson is like, I think Cade Otton's good, but let's go in a different direction. That's the only reason why I think we would let go of Cade Otton. But if I had to choose, I'm typing. Oh man, I should have thought about this before I even did this. I'm still up in the air. I'm gonna go with S for sign. I'm gonna bring it back. But you let me know down in the comment section of today's video. All right, moving on to Mr. Rachaad White. He is set to sign with the Panthers, according to Fox Sports. Which I just think it's funny. The last two is like going to follow our former offensive coordinators where they went, and we knew Rachaad White was leaving. He already posted everything on social media and said, "Hey, Uno out," and we were all like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like his contract's up," and I think Rachaad White and his Bucs career was over. But hey, that's okay. He had a great year with us. I mean, he had a great couple years with us. He's a great receiving back, and whatever team gets him is going to get a dual threat guy. And if you look at the thing that pops out to me is 2025, 17 games played. 2024, 16 games played. 2023, 17. 2022, 17. The guy's on the field, and that's what you want. It's just maybe not a ton of production. His best year in 2023 with almost 1,000 yards running. But I think he wants to be the main guy. I could see him going to the Panthers, but I could also see him going to maybe the Commanders. I think that has been thrown out there before. But all to say, thank you to Rachaad White. He had been a great addition to the backfield, whether it be him being the main guy or, the sidekick to Bucky Irving. Whatever it was, great teammate, great guy to have on the field. And I just want to say thank you. And if you want to say thank you too, maybe throw some ones down in the comment section of today's video. Moving on to the last prediction from Fox Sports, Jamel Dean to the Lions. Now, this is the last one I put on the list because this one I was like, oh, I don't like that. Like, not that I'm saying it wouldn't happen, but if they don't re-sign Jamel Dean, I'm like, oh, I want him to stay on this. I'll get to what I'm thinking. But, I mean, 6'1", 206 pounds, he is a corner, and he's had some great years with the Buccaneers. Well, I say great. He's had his best year last year. Overall PFF grade, and PFF isn't end-all, be-all, but, I mean, he ranked very, very high in corners this year in PFF. 80 overall, 75 in coverage, 73 in tackling, 661 snaps overall. The guy is a very good corner, and I think if you're talking about him moving on from the Buccaneers, going to the Lions, I could see that happening, but I think Jason Light and the Glazers and Todd Bowles should say, wait, hold on. We got to re-sign him because you're going to need a veteran presence in this very young secondary room. This was one of many holes on the defense that we had last year, and a guy like Jamel Dean brings you stability. He brings you a veteran presence in the locker room, and he brings you familiarity in the defense. He knows the system, and he had one of his better years. I don't think you let him go because Zion McCollum, would you see him stepping into that role? I don't think so. Jacob Parrish, very young. Benjamin Morrison with his injuries, and he's very young. Vildor's not much of a, corner, and he's a free agent as well. So I think keeping Jamel Dean is one of the more important things to do on this defense. And, Antoine Winfield, he's there. But that secondary needs another veteran presence with how young they are. And honestly, just more bodies as well. So I think a need for us on defense is linebacker, edge rusher, but secondary as well. And having, if you're going to let Jamel Dean go and then be like, okay, we need a veteran presence. Well, you just had one who had one of his better years. So I don't think you let him go yet. But hey, those are the Fox predictions that we've had on today's show, sort of running through them and seeing what could happen in the 2026 offseason. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's all I got for you. If you did enjoy it, make sure to go down, hit the thumbs up button. Trying to make this the most liked video on the channel so far. I don't know how many videos I've made, but I've been really focusing on, trying to make sure we grow this community. But at the same time, I want to show my bosses that you guys know liking the video helps, and you guys actually do like it. Because it's always like, oh, yeah, I like the video. But if you actually did like it, you go down and like it. All right, I'm rambling on for too much. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much. And as always, fire the cannons.